Hey guys, welcome back to another video here in the Alpha Pack shop. This is video 3 of the Polaris Ranger 1000 Deisel crew. And come to find out, it is a 2017. We found the book, not a 2016 like I said previously, but no big deal, it's all the same. Today, I know I told y'all I'm gonna tell you a story, it'll be later in this video, about this machine, where it came from, who owns it, and whatnot. And if you're on Instagram, you might know the guy. His name is the Typical Liberal. So this is the Typical Liberal mobile, okay? But we'll talk about that later. Right now, we got the newest beam techs that they make. And this is the V4. There is no heat sink anymore on the back side. It is just one piece, and then it plugs right into the back. So there it is up in there. They look really nice. Here, I'll pull it out for you. This is them, the new V4 beam techs, babe. So here's the heat sink. They did make it now different than mine. It's where you can't adjust this to like turn them a certain way in there. So they just plug into the back, slide them on up, and then lock them in. So there it is, locked in, kind of good to go. All right, so we have light, both of them are in, and here we go. Low beam, high beam. Nice. So the beam techs, was a quick install, good to go. They look good, they're super bright. So those are done. Chris is over here working on the plastic that was all broken on this here tub. Goes underneath the passenger seat. So once he's done with that, we will go ahead and throw that in there. I went ahead and put all the side plastics and floorboards in and everything. I'm about to lube those bolts up and go ahead and bolt it all down. And then after I get done with that, I'm gonna leave these off so that I can build me another set of my custom mud flaps, brought to you by Alpha Pack Off-Road. So we'll have my mud flaps I made for my Ranger, which will fit this as well. So we'll build those out. I have a little schematic from when I did mine with all the measurements, so I'll just copy that and do one for his, and that'll keep all the mud out of the wheel, out of all here on top of the gas tank, and out of all this stuff off the air filter box, all of it, because mud goes everywhere back here. So yep, wanted some mud flaps, he's gonna get them. Got the Deisel only stickers because, you know, some people just don't have that common sense where they see a green cap and know just off bat that that's Deisel. So not, you know, it also says Deisel only on the cap, but just in case he wanted stickers all over it saying Deisel only. So he sent me some. I'm gonna stick them all over here by the gas cap so nobody makes that mistake, because that could be a super expensive mistake. If you were to try to run gasoline in this sucker, you would probably blow up the motor. So we don't want to do that. But anyway, guys, we're moving right along. I'm going to get busy, and whenever I get on something interesting, I will come back and show you. All right, as you can see, we've started getting the mud flaps designed. We're just kind of mocking it up and just doing it as we go instead of using my measurements from my other one, because it has a different air box and exhaust, so it wasn't going to work. So we're just going to redo it. So this is the beginning process over here. We've got the right side kind of drilled out and ready, and then it'll go back like that, and it'll block all the mud. Boom. So we're about to finish that up and then move on to putting that bed on at some point. So I'll come back when I get that all put on, and then hopefully we can go on a ride. All right, guys, so got it all set up. Got this side done. Mud flap, good to go. So no mud's getting through there. And then on this side, I just have to attach it here, and we'll be good. So that'll be done. And yeah, I'm gonna put the back on tomorrow, but figured tonight might as well take it down the road and check everything out, because you know, that deadline's coming. So me and Liam are about to go take a test ride down the road. Well, let's go. All right, here we go, getting on the road. Let's check it out. There we go, turf mode. That way the rear end ain't locked up. Now these things aren't new for their top speed at all. Let's see. It should go about, I don't know, 25-ish, 30-ish. I think there's a governor on it though. We might have to check out a thing about a governor. This was a rental. So the story is the typical liberal purchased this before it went to auction for around $6 grand, and they thought it had maybe a blown motor, possibly. It had low oil pressure, and after hours of research and testing, it ended up being the oil filter. So the oil filter was not correct for this unit, so I purchased an OEM one and took the one they had got from like a auto parts store off, and I noticed in the inside of the OEM one it was a bigger oil filter, and it had inside it had a relief valve, and it apparently needs that. So I'm glad I went and got the OEM one, and it fixed the motor issue. So no new motors needed. This thing drives just perfect. I think I need to adjust the governor to give it more either RPM or quicker RPM. And but yeah, I mean, it's smooth and it goes. So oh yeah, the brakes, I changed the brakes too. So everything's new on it. It's actually doing really well. So it's driving nice and straight. I haven't done that alignment tool yet, but I'll probably do that soon and get that knocked out. But yeah, it's driving real well, I gotta say. I know it's nighttime, but these are those BeamTech LED lights. Here's a spot I'll put on the high beams. That's high beam, low beam. They're real bright. Really no need for a light bar. I mean, you can see everything in front of you on the front. And the light on the back helps out tremendously, I must say. Yeah, so I'm gonna head back over to the house and we'll pick back up there. All right, guys, so it is tomorrow and we've made some more progress. Check it out, got the bed thrown on. So that's done. That means the mud flaps we were making are done. This side was left loose, but we got it all tidied up. Got some self tappers holding it into the frame. Zip tie up here, and then push pins along the plastic side. I think they came out real good. So that's the passenger. Here's the end result on the driver. Covers everything. So came out real good. Bed's on, good to go. We've cleaned it up. I'll do my coating of the tire foam later this evening. But after we got it all done, I was looking at it, it just felt like it was missing something that mine had. And if you see that passenger side on mine, you see that mirror right there? I think this thing would look awesome with some side mirrors. So given our time crunch, because he's coming tomorrow, and who he is the typical liberal on Instagram. So if you didn't understand who the typical liberal was in the story last night, that's who he is. Go look him up if you're on Instagram. Check him out. Go follow him. He has multi-million subscribers or followers. I don't do Instagram, but anyway, that's his thing. So that's who he is. But anyway, I felt these mirrors would be a good little touch on his rig. So I'm about to take those off and throw them on his. I'll come back whenever they're installed. Check out the mirrors, guys. Got them done. Those are the seismic breakaway mirrors. They cleaned up real good. Mounted up nice. The window shuts like it should. So mirrors, check. Y'all let me know how that makes it look. I think it sets off the bike. I mean, it makes it look more like a truck in my eyes. So he's going to be able to see behind him too when he's backing up this long sucker. Anyway, so now that the mirrors are done, just about everything else is buttoned up, other than the steering rack, because I just got it in yesterday evening. So today is the Thursday morning that I am supposed to have this thing completed so we can pick it up this afternoon. And so yeah, I got to jump on getting this thrown in with the new hardware and whatnot, get everything centered with the steering. And then we're going to use this new full access UTV.com's alignment tool that I ordered to do all my side-by-sides and four-wheelers with, so that the tires are completely straight, or however I need them to be. There is a YouTube video on how to use those and what to do. So if y'all go check them out, I'm sure it's a full access YouTube channel as well, and it'll tell you what's up. I'm also going to possibly in a separate vid do that. So I'm about to get in here and rip that steering rack out and then throw that steering rack in. So let's get on it. All right, got the rack out, guys. Finally, it was a little more extreme than I had anticipated. All these bolts are rusted and just seized in here, so I couldn't turn the back side of the bolts. Had to just get the nuts off, and there's a diff right there, right? But anyway, I ended up getting it, no big deal. This was the steering shaft was definitely rusted on there, so I had to take a wedge, and where the slit is in the side of it, I had to put a wedge and bang them all till it finally let go of it. So then I was able to just go whoop, throw it out of there, and now it's out. So those ends, oh yeah, I do need those. So I got to take those tie rod ends off and put them on these. And this newer rack has a different style ends, or the tie rods themselves screw on right here. So there's adjustment on the inner and outer. So anyway, those will get thrown on there after this goes on. And also I checked to make sure that the lines here, there are marks usually on this steering shaft and the case. Line those up, make sure you have the same amount of left and right turn. So you can do it by hand and turn it, see how many you got left, see how many right, and then do half of that, right? So come back half of it and it should line up with that mark, and if it does, you're good to go. Then you can throw it in there and put your shaft back on it, put your bolt back in after you tighten everything up, and then put your rod ends on and just snug it all down. And then you can finally set it on the ground with some tires on it, or with your alignment tool, excuse me. We're going to be using the new alignment tool here from fullaccessutv.com. Yep, we're going to try that out. So you can't put the tires on yet. We got to put those on after that and get it straight as we can. So we will see how that works after we get the rack done. All right, guys, so I got the steering rack in. I had a couple issues need to go over with you. So this bolt right here, that's holding the steering shaft on, that is not the OEM one. I had to get that one out of my little bolt box with all my goodies in there and make it fit in there and work. So the other OEM bolt was way too big. It had a 17-inch nut and then a 15 on the front, and when you would turn left and right, it would hit right here on this frame. I don't know why it's closer, but it is. So I made my own, and it actually stubbed out past this nut, and I had to cut that. So I marked it, took it back off, and cut it. So once I got that issue resolved, then I put the tie rods on and hooked up the end links to the hubs, right? Well, normally there's not a spacer under here, right? Or a washer or anything, but I had to put one, given the fact that it was putting too much of an angle up here on this joint, and it was actually putting a bind on it and bringing it down when I'd snug it up, and then you couldn't even adjust this adjustment rod. So, you know, I went ahead and put the spacer in here on this side. It didn't do it on the passenger for some reason, and I just did it on both to make it uniform. I just won't be able to run the cotter pin. If I have to, I will put some RTV on this nut and snug it up, and once it dries, it won't back out. It's tight now. I don't think it's going anywhere. I remember having this issue when I did my 4-inch lift on my Ranger, and I went with a Uniball or a Heim, excuse me, joint with misalignment spacers underneath. And that's how I resolved my height issue and angle issue with my tie rods. So, but on this one, we'll be all right with just some spacers. And like I said, I'll RTB this bolt and put the nut back on with RTB, and it shouldn't back out from turning left, right, and all that. It probably wouldn't pull out now, but just in case, we'll do that. But anyway, now that I have the whole steering system fixed up and hooked back up and all the issues resolved with that, now I can put the alignment tool on here, set it on the ground, and I can get busy with getting the tires straight as possible. So here we go. In just a second, I'm gonna have skis on this bad boy. All right guys, skis are on, and I've already gone through everything and got it where I need it and snugged it down. But let me show you this kit, this alignment tool kit, full access UTV.com. You will need 2 pieces of plate, and they go down here where it's touching the ground. So you want to be on a level surface, get 2 pieces of plate. You want to bolt this to your certain bolt pattern of your wheel, bolt it on. I had to use these style lug nuts, and I tried to put the tapered end in it, and it was just slightly off to where it wouldn't work with them. So I just flipped them around and smashed them flat on there. So that's how they are for me. And then you put your tape measure across to each end, and you come take a look at your measurements. So let me see. Yeah, on the back side we have 58 and right under, or right at 3/8. And over here in the front, it's like a 32nd hair in. So we're slightly towed in, 58, yeah, and right under 3/8. So anyway, so we got it aligned, everything snugged down. Now I can take the skis off, put the tires back on, and we can go test ride this thing finally. And then hopefully tomorrow it'll be good to go. So I'm gonna come back when I got some tires on this bad boy, and we're gonna go for a little rip. There you go. Get that last one. Good job. On to the next. To your left on the ground. Your left on the ground. Just get a couple threads and move to the next. So I'm gonna grab the 19 is what these are, and the impact, and we're gonna tighten them suckers up, drop it down, and it'll be ready for. There it is, guys. The 2017 Deisel Ranger 1000 is complete. The heck was that? I don't know. We got some crazy stuff going on around here. Anyway, there it is. Mirrors are on. Everything's done. Tires are on. Got the alignment knocked out. New steering rack. Tie rods. Everything, guys. It's done. So tomorrow, the typical liberal from Instagram is going to come by and pick this bad boy up, and he's going to bring it to his deer camp in Alabama, I believe. So I've got him stickered up, Alpha Pack, because we Alpha Pack this sucker out, guys. Alpha Pack. Yeah, that's what we do here. Tonight I will shine that sucker up so that in the morning it'll look gorgeous. It'll shine. Oh, it'll shine so good. And then it won't get dirty. As dirty. But anyway, so now it's time to take it around the block, make sure the alignment is true, should be good to go. And yeah. Oh, there he is again. So about to start her up after I put this dog away because he's not coming. And we're gonna go take it for a little rip around the neighborhood, around the block tonight. Get it tested, and I'll come back after I've tested her. the Diesel Ranger 1000 out of the shop in the middle of my neighbor's backyard. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I think it looks badass. Bumper to bumper. It's been gone through. So I think it's ready for Grant to come pick up tomorrow. I drove it all the way here with no issues. No lights came on, no nothing. Everything's painted up, buttoned up, lights on, mirrors are on, winch is in. I'm gonna shine it up later this evening when I get back in the shop with it, and it'll be ready to go when he comes tomorrow to go to Alabama, to the deer camp for deer season. So hopefully nobody puts regular gas in it, because I put diesel only all over it over there. If they do, oh man, they need to be hit with a fine. But anyway, look guys, tomorrow Grant's picking this up, but tonight I'm saying good night, and please hit that like and subscribe and bell for notifications, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow in the next video of the Diesel Ranger 1000. Y'all take it easy.